Good morning, children. How are you all? Hope you all are well and safe at your home and also spending quality time with your parents. Now, in the previous video, we studied about some methods of separation that were hand picking, winnowing, threshing, and sieving. And in this video, we will study some more methods of separation. They are sedimentation, decantation, filtration, evaporation, and condensation. Now, these methods we will study today. Now, let's quickly recap what we have studied in previous video. So, we studied about the method hand picking. So, what is hand picking method? Separating the mixture using our hands. We use our hands for separating the mixture. So, this method is known as hand picking method. Next one is threshing. So it is the process of separating grains from the sun-dried stalk. It is the process of separating the grains from the sun-dried stalk is known as threshing. So this method is used by farmers. Next method is winnowing. What is winnowing? Winnowing, it is also used by farmers, generally used by farmers. So in this process, a heavier impurity and this lighter impurities can be separated. Means lighter impurities can be separated from heavier grains using the wind. So this process is known as winnowing. Now, next method is sieving. What is sieving? Sieving is a method of separating in which the mixture is passed through a sieve. As you can see here, a sieve. Here you can see a sieve. So, what is there in between? A net is there, and through this net, only the pure thing can come down, and the impurities will stay here on the sieve. This method we generally use in our home. Your mother, before kneading the dough, she used this method and this filter the or sieve the flour. Now let's move to filtration, sedimentation and decantation. So first start with filtration. So what is filtration? Filtration is the process of removing insoluble solid from a liquid by using filter paper is known as filtration. Now you must be thinking sieving and filtration are same. Yes or no? No, they are not same, because in the case of filtration what we are doing, we are using a filter paper also. As you can see, in the case of filtration we are using a filter paper, and in case of filtration a solid impurity is there, but in case of solid impurity is there and we are separating this solid impurity from a liquid. We are separating solid impurity from a liquid, but in case of sieving we were separating solid impurity from a solid substance only. So in case of this filtration, water is also there, a liquid is also involved, so this process is filtration. Now example of filtration, the mixture of chalk and water, it is separated through this process. If we will make a solution of chalk powder and water, we will dissolve it. What we have studied, this is a heterogeneous mixture, it will not dissolve. As we have studied earlier also, it will not dissolve. So what will happen, that water, that chalk will deposit on the filter paper and this water will come down. Okay, now the chalk that will deposit on the filter paper is known as residue. Whatever is left on the filter paper is known as residue, and the water which comes down is known as filtrate. So whatever will left in the filter paper is known as residue, and whichever liquid which passes through the filter paper is known as filtrate. Okay, so filter paper is circular in shape. Generally they are circular in shape, and we fold them and form like a cone. We fold them in a conical shape and then we put them inside a funnel, and then on this we pour water, also the solution which we have to filter. So this filtrate, this residue resides here, any impurity present in water will reside here, and the pure water will come down, or the pure water will come down through these pores and can be collected in beaker or any other jar. Is it clear? Okay. Now let's move to the next way of filtration. This is sedimentation. Sedimentation, it is the process of filtration in which the heavier components in the mixture settle down when water is added to it. The process is called sedimentation. What will happen in this process? What the heavier particles will settle at the bottom. As we have studied earlier, I have shown you the case of a glass of water and pebbles were there. What was there? Pebbles were settled at the bottom because they were heavier than water. So any impurity that is heavier than water can be separated using the process known as sedimentation. In this process, the heavier impurities settle at the bottom and they can easily be separated. So this method is known as sedimentation. The heavier component that settle down are known as sediment, and the components which settle at the bottom are known as sediments. So after sedimentation, as you can see in this diagram, the sediment have deposited here. This is known as sediment. Whichever has deposited at the bottom is known as sediment, and later on we can separate them using the process known as decantation. What is the process name? Decantation. It is the process of separating sediment and liquid of mixture is known as decantation. What is decantation process? In this process, as we have done sedimentation, it is a part of sedimentation only. So when we have put taken a glass of water and we put it some pebbles, what will happen? The pebbles will settle at the bottom. Okay, then after some time what we can do, we can take that glass and without disturbing the pebbles we can take out the water away from the we can separate the water from that glass. So this process is known as what it is known as? It is known as decantation process. Is it clear? Now next one is evaporation. What is evaporation? Evaporation is the process we are aware of. Yes or no? We have studied this process in the water cycle also. So evaporation is what? It is the process of conversion of water into water vapors. When water convert into water vapor, this process is known as evaporation. So evaporation, it is generally in the formation of clouds. You must have seen when we boil something at our home, when we boil milk or when we cook something, then water comes up in the form of what? Water comes up in the form of vapors. You can see vapors there. So what are these vapors? These vapors are only water vapors, that is due to heating of the water. So when water convert into water vapor, that process is known as evaporation. Is it clear? You must have seen many times the examples of evaporation. And when we dry our clothes in sun, yes or no, we put them in sun, under the sun we put, so they dry up. Why they dry up? Because the water is changing into the extra water that is present in our clothes, that will evaporate, that will convert into water vapors and will evaporate. So this is the process of evaporation. Okay, let's take one more example. Okay, when we one more thing, one surface area is increased. When we increase the area, the rate of evaporation will also increase. Let's take an example. Okay, when we put our clothes to dry, how we put them? We just put them like this, or we just spread it nicely so that they dry up fast? How we put them? Yes, we put them and spread them evenly so that they can dry up fast. Why they will dry up fast like that? Because when there will be more surface for evaporation, then this cloth will dry fast. Means surface area, if the surface is large, then the process of evaporation will be fast. Let's take one more example. Okay, when we are in hurry, means in the morning we all are in hurry because we have to catch the school bus, yes or no, and your mother gives you a glass of milk and say, better drink it fast. What you say? Mama, it's very hot, ma'am, I'll not drink it. So what your mothers do? She put that in a plate. She puts that in a plate and it gets cool easily, or you put that under a fan, then also it gets easily cool easily. So means when we are putting that in a plate, what we are doing, we are increasing the surface. Glass surface is small and this surface is large, so we are increasing the surface. So when surface will be large, then the process of evaporation will be higher. Is it clear? So means surface area increases the process of evaporation. Now let's move to condensation. As you can now, here you can see the process of evaporation is going on, and the salt, this from the sea water we can easily get salt. We can get salt from sea water through the process of evaporation only. And here it is evaporation and condensation, both the processes are taking simultaneously. I'll come to this later on. First we will study decantation. Now here, the process of conversion of water vapor into liquid is known as condensation. What is condensation? It is opposite of evaporation. In evaporation, what was going on? Water was converting to water vapors. Now in this, water vapors are converting into water. What was going in the evaporation? In evaporation, water was converting into water vapors. Now in this one, water vapors are converting into water. So this process is condensation and this process is evaporation. So they are opposite of each other. Now here you can see the formation of water droplets. In this picture you can see water droplet. This you can see generally in the this cold season. In the winter season, you must have seen in your windows these droplets, small droplets are there. So why they are so? Because of the fog present in the atmosphere. That fog is what? It is a water vapors, and when that water vapor comes in contact of a hot thing or a slightly warm thing, they convert into water vapor. Let's see. Now here you can see the process of evaporation and condensation, both the things. How you will say evaporation and condensation? Now inside this kettle, what is there? Inside this kettle, water is present, and we are boiling water. We are providing heat to this water. This kettle, we are providing heat, and the water inside this, it is coming in the form of water vapors. As you can see, it is coming in the form of water vapors, and these water vapors are melting the ice. These water vapors are melting the ice, and ice is converted into liquid form. So means directly indirectly they are dependent on each other. So this is water vapor. So water is converting into water vapor, and water vapors are converting into liquid. So means this evaporation and condensation, both the processes are happening here. Now this is all about condensation and evaporation. Now let's quickly recap what we have studied in this chapter. So we studied about different types of processes or different types of methods of separation. And in today's video we studied about filtration, that was separating the things using a filter paper. We were using a filter paper for separating the things. That process is known as filtration. Sedimentation means when the light this heavier components will settle at the bottom of a water. In a water, when we will put some substances in water, then the heavier particles will deposit down and we can easily separate them using the process of decantation. So sedimentation and decantation are related to each other. They are part of, decantation is a part of sedimentation, we can say. Now evaporation is the conversion of water into water vapor, and we have taken so many examples of evaporation. Now the next one is condensation. Condensation is what? Conversion of water vapors into the liquid form. In the water form, this is known as condensation. So it was all about the chapter. Now the chapter is finished. So I want all of you to make notes of this chapter in your rough notebook. Only in your rough notebook you have to write all the these methods of filtration. You will write all the methods of separation and at least write 5 or 4 points about them. Okay? So that will be a good revision for you, and you don't have to mug up the things. They will be easily learned by you. So till then, what you have to do, you have to stay home and take care. Sai Ram.